Okay, so look at Call of Duty 2 at 21:9. This was a big game back in 2005. It put you in the shoes of the Russians, British, and Americans in 3 separate stories that span the 6 years of war. And whilst by current standards it's no longer that gritty, realistic shooter you would have once believed it to be, it still provides a great few hours of gameplay. So 21:9 support is not natively there, however, just do a quick hex edit to make menus and the like scale to use the 21:9 screen space. Full details in the description. Once you've done this, you'll then notice the game's other issue, a low FOV. So at an ultra-wide resolution, things are just far too close to the screen. As a result, you need to download the FOV mod by RacerS in the description, load it up, and when in-game, hit the multiply key to apply the mod. Then use the plus and minus keys to increase or decrease your FOV. Brilliantly as well, it allows you to change the position of the HUD to your preferred location. For this, use Shift and plus or Shift and minus to increase or decrease the HUD aspect ratio. Alternatively, you can just tab out and manually drag the sliders to your preferred position. For a reference point, I used an aspect ratio of 2.8 and HUD aspect ratio of 3 for 3440 by 1440. So once you've got the game running at 21:9, the gameplay will correctly show off more on the sides of the screen with screen effects using the entire screen space, such as when in a tank. Sadly, there is pop-in, but that's due to render distance limitations and not ultra-wide specific issues. Cutscenes are a mix of black-barred 4x3 content and stretched 4x3 to reach the entire screen width, which, as you can guess, looks very bad. Sadly as well, these all have black bars at the top and bottom as well as on the sides. The main and in-game menus are 21:9 with the grey lines at the top and bottom reaching across the entire width. However, the background images are built for 16:9 and so either cut off abruptly or fade to black when reaching the extra 21:9 width. The other weird issue is, as you can see on screen, if the cursor enters the extra screen width, it leaves like a temporary trail. Very strange, but it disappears upon leaving the menu. Finally, loading screens are 16:9 with black bars, but they're all extremely quick. Performance-wise, well, as you can expect, it's very good. I'm on a 1080 Ti at 3440 by 1440 and, as you can guess, absolutely destroyed the game's FPS. Easily staying over my screen's 95 FPS cap at all times. In fact, the only issue I have with the title is sometimes the game would have momentary freezing as FPS dropped from the high 200s to low 200s, and this was noticeable as any sudden change in FPS will be noticed as the frame pacing suddenly alters, but I found this to be a random thing, some maps having more issues than others. The game also has good customization, with the ability to remap every controller on your keyboard and mouse. However, there is no controller support, so if you are to get things working, your best bet is to use Xpadder, which just allows you to bind keyboard controls to your controller. I'll link to that down below. Gameplay is, by current standards, like I said, basic. It feels very much like Medal of Honor Allied Assault in many ways. Weapons are pretty simple, driving vehicles is extremely basic, AI are pretty decently intelligent, and maps are still good looking, though graphically the game is showing its age. But all these points still mean the game is fun. I was blasting my way through and still enjoying the simplicity of things. Admittedly, you won't want to play a ton of this at once, as you will get bored, as it's extremely samey. Really, the difference between the Russians, British and US forces is simply different map locations and voice acting. Weapons are generally the same, but they still feel fun to use, and the world is fun to run through. I must admit though, you rarely will use any other weapon other than SMGs, as they simply allow you to run and gun effectively, and everything else is kind of just there so that there are other weapons to use. They don't really serve any great purpose. Multiplayer-wise, the game is pretty much dead from what I can find online. However, the multiplayer won't even launch successfully for me, and honestly at this point I can't see any real reason to work out how to get it working as no one is playing. But yeah, I believe if you somehow get online and want 21:9, the single player fixes should still work for this. All in all, it's good fun. If you can pick it up very cheap and love the Medal of Honor series or World War II titles in general, then this will satisfy you without doubt. It's a fun gem. It's also funny to see Captain Price fighting in World War II, only for him to be fighting soon in the Middle East over half a century later. I'm going to give this game a WideAsFcuk score of 3. Everything pretty much works fine, just small issues with cutscenes and menus, but gameplay is completely perfect at 21:9. So I hope that gives you some information on the game runs at 21:9. Give this video a like if you found it helpful and subscribe for future info. For any of the games at 21:9, head over to my channel or the WideAsFcuk website. Hopefully I've covered it. If I haven't, then leave a comment down below and I'll try and cover it. And if you'd like to support the channel, links to my Patreon page in the description and Amazon affiliate links are there too. See you later.
Cut them down! Look out, enemy! Out! This is it, boys. Our decoys shall keep those panzers busy while we wipe out their supplies. Let's go!